Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday Throwdown, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. As advertised, here we are live. It's been a week off. Everybody. I hope everybody had a great Easter holiday break here. But we're back to football, back to some serious business here. I don't want to waste any more time with this intro. Let's get right to it. Joining me, as always, my partner, colleague here, Giant 918. How you doing over there, brother?
www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us on Instagram at ACFL Atlantic Coast Football League. Lots of things going on. Once again, as Flanny just said, we hope you enjoyed your Easter and Passover recess, guys. Had a wonderful time with the family as well. Flanny did with about 2/3 of his family, but that's all right, baby, because this is where we are today. Serious biz here at the ACFL, and we're going to start off, guys, with the biggest controversy that happened in week number 3, and it was Uso versus Smash Mouth, where Uso ends up winning this this is 8 versus 8 too, guys. And this is Uso versus Smash Mouth. Uso wins this one in crazy fashion and a very it's very conflicted over here that the referees with over 10 years of experience, the lineman and the ref, had the ball spotted on the 25-yard line, not the 20-yard line, and the teams were given a first down in overtime. That is not normal over here. Jim, what happened over here? The teams must be furious. Smash Mouth must be furious over here. How does this happen in the most prestigious league in the ACFL, Flanny?
I have no idea how this happened, Giant, but it did. It did. Went to overtime. It was a fantastic game here, man. 6-6. End of the game there. So they go into overtime. And like you mentioned, ball spotted on the 25-yard line. Now, Giant, I've refed games, I've watched games, I've played in games, and there's mistakes we do. We're all human, you know what I mean? There's there's situations where did the guy catch the ball? Was he in bounds? There's judgmental calls out there, So I understand that, Then there's also, sometimes we lose track of downs, Sometimes teams are getting 5 downs, we don't have the track of the downs, that you could see that, like in the real NFL. So sometimes, yeah, so that does happen. I've seen it happen, or let's say a team loses their blitz or uses 2 blitzes, in like the 6-on-6, that happens, we've seen it. But for something like this, where it's, you got to know the rule, you got to know where the ball is spotted. You mentioned 2 refs out there, and for them to spot it on the 25, that's a problem, man. That's a problem. It doesn't matter what you're playing. You mentioned it's 8-on-8. Whether it's 8-on-8, we're playing 6-on-6 flag, whether it's north, whether it's south, whether it's touch.
Sure.
It's the same rule throughout. It's on the 20-yard line. You know what I mean? But that was okay. Look, both teams on the 25, but the problem I have here is that first down. How do you give a team a first down in overtime? That should never happen, unless
it's
like a penalty call or something, Well, that results in a repeat of down or they get a first down. You cannot get a first down. If you're giving a team a first down in overtime, technically, you could go down to like 7-8 plays for a team, and you're going to drag the overtime a lot longer. Let's say if it goes to like 2 or 3 overtimes, with that first down. I don't know where or what the mentality was here, but it did happen. But the thing is, both teams got the same. It wasn't just like just the Usos had the first down. Smash Mouth used the same side. They started on the 25 as well, and they were given the first down. So given that, but it's different. When you have that first down, when you have that extra downs and stuff, as defensemen, you play a bit different. Even on the offense, you play a bit different. You take some shots there because you still could get that first down. So I didn't like the call, but it is what it is. Once Uso was able to get first down, they had to do the same thing with Smash Mouth. But here's the thing, man. with that all, you know what I mean, Smash Mouth did not play a great game here at all. You know what I mean? They took a lot of costly penalties in this game. And plus, they could not get in any offensive scores throughout the whole game, you know? So they deserve to lose this game for that reason. I don't know why they did not go with their quarterback to start this game. Their quarterback is, was it number 2 or whatever? I mean, he played in the week 1. I was surprised he did not play in this game until like the halftime, until the second half. And, you know, and he gave him the best chance to score at that point. You know, there was also a call where Uso got a pass interference call, but Smash Mouth could not come up with the points, you know. So that, I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, overtime controversy, yeah or not, but Smash Mouth's got to do a better job on the offensive side. Defensive wise, they played great. Both
teams played great defensively.
Yeah, both teams were pretty sloppy. Uso's quarterback actually even got hurt, so this was a good chance for Smash Mouth to win it, but they could not do it, man. They could not get that offensive score which they needed. Even a field goal would have ended it and not even went to overtime, but, you know, Uso wins with the field goal.
All right, so very controversial. I don't know if these refs are going to be reprimanded, but you got to make the right call over here, especially with the first downs. Flanny, you said it. I mean, the only thing I could compare this to is when Ed Hockley blew the whistle in that fucking Chargers playoff game. It was the most craziest whistle I've heard in my life. I was like, so the only way I think it could happen is that both of these refs had brain farts or something like that, some type of dyslexia, where their judgment was impaired, where they were unable, either one of them were unable to make this distinction of the overtime rules. The fact of the matter is, we're discussing it over here. We're opening the show up with this. This cannot happen again. So the refs got to get this right in the future, Flanny.
Yeah, if anybody's in the chat wants to post a comment or regarding that or anything else here on the show, I'll be monitoring the chat throughout the broadcast on here. Give us or if you just want to give a shout out, man, I'll be tracking that. But yeah, 9-6 final. Smash Mouth coming in, it was undefeated, 1-0. Man, they were looking to go up in that power ranking poll, but Uso gets the win, man. Big win for these guys.
Yeah, just want to give a quick shout out to my old crew at my previous job at Super Stud Building Products down in Edison, New Jersey. I want to know if everybody could say a little prayer for my man Joe Z. He's getting surgery tomorrow, man. He's getting his stomach cut so he could lose some weight and stuff, man. He's trying to save his life and stuff like that. So thoughts and prayers are with you, Joe Z. And before we move on into the 8 versus 8 flag as well, guys, I want to get into this website. Somebody had made a post on ACFL.net. They were complaining about the videos and about the website itself. Videos have gotten better. I've been bitching about it every fucking week over here. Somebody please hold the goddamn phone sideways to do it. They didn't hold the phone sideways, but they held the phone to tape some of the games over there in week 2 or week 3, Flanny. So we really appreciate that, guys. And a lot of these in the 8-man flag, a lot of them are posted on YouTube as well. So make sure you guys check that out at ACFL videos and click the like and any responses or comments over there. We would greatly appreciate it. But the issue here that's critical is the website. We're trying to build this league over here. We provide the entertainment for you guys as much as we can. As long as Flanny's going to be here, I'm going to be here. Okay, guys, it's tough doing this. We got young families over here, man, but we need a website to communicate with others. It is not happening on that current website on ACFL.net. Jim Flanagan has a website ready to rock. He has developed the website already, man. So JT and the rest of the management here, I am demanding that you update this website immediately for ACFL.net. Flanny, how does this new website that you've been developing look like?
Well, here's the thing, man. I mean, let me just go over the post that was posted on there. So pretty much the guy comments there, I have to ask, how hard is it to update a website? We have standings that are 3 weeks behind. Everyone keeps talking about expanding the league. Then he goes into some steps have been taken for Instagram, Facebook posts. We love it. But how hard is it to get the scores from every week, keep standings up to date? And then he also mentions can we get more consistent with the film? I mean, here's the thing with the site. From my knowledge or what I understand, there's only one guy working on the site that updates, and that is a problem. Why? Because let's say a person goes on vacation.
What if the person dies? What if the person dies?
Well, that's
you need multiple administrators.
But yeah,
period, end of sentence.
So yeah, that could you know what I mean, something happens, or let's say he's busy. I mean, real life stuff happens as well, like you mentioned. So we're all pretty much waiting, depending on this one guy to update the site. But not only that, Giant, not only that, everything that's done on the ACFL website right now is manually done, manually updated. You know what I mean? Like the standings, manually updated through the Excel. Means he goes in there, he updates the scores. He's got to move teams around, whoever's the top team, whatever. Same thing with the score, same thing with schedule. Very time consuming in that as well. You know, manually, there's human errors on those as well. What I've implemented, I've listen, man, I've pleaded, I've emailed, I've messaged. I want to help. You know what I mean? I have ideas. I could bring something in. Number one thing we got to do is from the ACFL, so wherever it's geosites, daddy, whatever it is, we got
the domain, whoever, whatever language they use.
Look, we got to get it onto WordPress. Period. End of sentence. You need at least WordPress. That's bottom. You know, that's like the.
That's what the basic skills of websites do. They use web. You know.
So if we're gonna do anything, I mean, that's gotta happen, and I'm willing to do that. I got servers to do that. You know what I mean? I did put together something just to show a preview of.
But you're not even asking for the servers. You're just asking to put your interface.
Yeah.
Get rid of the current interface over there. Put the interface that you have put on there, on the domain.
Pretty much. And here's the thing, and what that does with the WordPress, I'm able to bring a thing called SportsPress, which pretty much does it for you as far as the scores go, standings, everything. Meaning, as soon as you input the scores, everything's updated. You know, the script is in there, so it updates the standings, it updates the rankings there, the scores, the schedule, and everything by just inputting the score. You know what I mean? And to go even more than that, I could even have the teams log in themselves and to put the scores and have it updated. I don't have to touch anything. You know what I mean?
Guys, I don't even want to spend the time to go over this. But this is how important I believe it is for the future success of the ACFL, guys.
We
talk about these scores every week. We talk about the website. Dude, for me to post something on the fucking website, I need to type in my name to respond to something, and then I need to type a bunch of numbers or whatever. But if I'm logged in on a website, I could type some shit in anytime I want to.
It's true.
Come on, guys. On the forums.
That's true. Well, a message board doesn't have that option. You know what I mean? So but even besides that, I mean, look, you need the standings, you need scores. I mean, if we're like three weeks behind on here, even for us doing the show on here, you know what I mean, when we're doing the show on here, it sucks going there. You can't even see the standings or scores. It makes the show to be done difficult. You know what I mean? Especially we had a week off. You know what I mean? The Easter week, there was no games, so there's no excuse of not having it done and updated by now. But if you got one man running the show, I mean, that's what's going to happen. So with bringing in WordPress, with allowing multiple users access to update this, or even having teams themselves to input the score, it could be done. You know what I mean? I'll shoot the website on there if you guys want to check it out. It's called now. This is I just have it temporarily on one of my servers there, so you guys could see what I'm talking about. If you go to web, W-E-B, and then dev, DEV09.com, then put /ACFL. You go on there. I'll show you what I mean about the forums, and then you could check the, there's a league link on there. It's all categorized, so it's in a drop-down menu. It's mobile friendly, because now, you know, everybody, mainly now goes on the site, goes through the phone. You know what I mean? Not as much through the computer. There still is, people still do. But
all right, guys. So let's plug that one more time.
Right now, it's not mobile friendly at all.
WebDev09.com/ACFL. And you'll see it right there, guys. This is WordPress integrated with Sports Press on there. You'll see the links at the top of the page. For the homepage, ACFL, you'll have information over there, league, shop, purchasing. Obviously, not all the links are there, but if you take a look at the league under the standings for the league over there, everything is up there, guys.
Right, standing, schedule, scores, it's all there. You know what I mean? And you could just click on a team. If you want to click on a team, you want to see their schedule, their scores. So let's say you're playing against the Bulldogs. You know what I mean? You click on Bulldogs, you see who they played that the season so far, the scores of that game. And I could even take it more. It depends how far the league wants to go as far as stats, as far as leader wise. As far as box scores, that all could be
baby steps. Baby steps, Lanny. We're giving you guys. We're giving you guys the website. We're telling you what's on there. We're telling you how outstanding it is. We are begging you, ACFL, to change the interface on the website. Let's get WordPress up there, integrated with sports. Jim Flanagan has a template for it. We are ready to rock.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I mean, like I said, I've asked. Like I said, I could help out with that, absolutely. But I think also the community, the players in this team also need to speak out on this because for change to happen on there, you know what I mean? Like I said, I mean, I did post a poll a couple of weeks back on there. Maybe it didn't get as much a response that the league wanted to see or feel that a change needs to be done. But I feel it does, man. I think, a lot of people as well. Somebody posted the thing on the message board. So let us know what you guys think as well. You know what I mean? Check that out when you guys get a chance to. And like I said, it's something that could be easily done, but I don't have the access to do so. So until that happens, we're stuck with what we got. And it kind of sucks. I mean, you might ask yourself, like, why do I care? But I mean, it does, man, because when you're doing media on there, yes, we got the social media now, which is great. You know what I mean? But the site also presenting, letting you guys know, like, when the Throwdown's going on, it's more organized and stuff. Right now, I doubt anybody even goes on the ACFL website, like, in general. The main thing, they might just go on the message board, and that's about it, if so. You know what I mean? Because I mean, if it's not updated, like, who the hell, like, why are you gonna go into the standings page? It's not even updated, So, it is what it is, man. I mean, I like I said, I asked. I'm willing to help if they want it. So.
All right, guys. So let's move on. You hear we're imploring you, ACFL, to update this website. How critical it is to the future, to the current success and the future success of the ACFL. We're going to move back onto the highlights for 8 versus 8. And we got the Apex Predators versus the Monstars, both 0-2. And the Monstars coming up big with their first W of the season, 20-7 to 20 the final. And there were some key mistakes by Apex and some bad play calls. But that is why they are 0-3 and the Monstars are 1-2. They came back from 20-0 to tie it, then lost. In the closing seconds of this game, Flanny, this is on YouTube, and this is hard to swallow for the Apex Predators.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, they wanted this win as much as the Monstars, but listen, I was there. I filmed this game. You guys could check out the full game on there. Just also the highlight reel of it as well. Here's the thing, man. They go down 20-0. When I saw 20, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Apex Predators. It's going to be another blowout, scoreless, But as soon as Apex got on the board, they got that key touchdown. There was some motivation in there, man, where things started changing, man. And then they got the 2-point conversion, and they ended up stopping the Monsters, scoring another touchdown. Here's where the mistake lies. They scored a touchdown, so now it makes sense. They got the 2-point conversion on the first score. Now it's 14-20 Giants. They're down 6. Why the hell are you going for 2 points? They're going for a 2-point conversion. They did this double pass. It ended up being a flag where it was a illegal forward pass. But why even doing that when you're down 6? Go for the 1, meaning next score, you take the lead. And they did get the next score. They intercepted the ball, but they couldn't convert on that one. So the game ends up being tied, but it doesn't end there. That's not where the mistake also lies. I mean, somebody should have, pointed it out. Hey, we're down 6. Just go for the 1, obviously, but they didn't. But outside of that, they tied the game, Giant, with like under 2 minutes to go. So the Monsters got the ball. So we're thinking, they got to stop them, or we're going to go to overtime. They do get the stop. They get an interception on here, and with just seconds to go, you're backed up in your own end zone on here. Why are you trying or forcing throws on here at this point? Run out that clock. Let's go to overtime. You got the momentum going. You just came back 20-0. You know what I mean? They told me they didn't know how much time was left or whatnot. So the guy throws an interception. They give the Monsters the ball back again. You give the ball like on the 5-yard line where your defense just stopped them. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Monsters scored. Got the conversion, 27-20 is final. Yeah, 0-3 team, that's what happens, and they got a tough road here this week against the Canes, so it don't get easy for the Predators.
All right, guys, let's move along with the next game. Warriors just blowing out the Bankers, 22-6, and the Warriors continue to dominate at 3-0. Are they for real? You goddamn right they're real. The Bankers aren't much of a team, but in some of the polling over there on Instagram, they are not the number 1 in the polls yet. The All-Stars 2-0 since they had a bye. The Warriors, they beat the Canes, though. When we go over predictions, we'll go over this, Flanny, but not much to say about this game. It was a complete blowout.
Man, no, here come the Warriors again, and another impressive win here. That's 3-0 for these guys. And you check out the power poll. Yeah, they still got the All-Stars number 1 spot. I don't know if I agree with that. Here's why, man. They beat the Canes. They beat the reigning, defending fall champs. That's right. They beat those guys the week prior, and guys I think are forgetting about that, and that's what happened. You know what I mean? So they're 3-0. They've beat everybody so far, you know what I mean? So you can't ask them to do any more than they have, but they still got the All-Stars at number 1 spot. I don't agree with that. Here's why. All-Stars, we know their past. Yeah, I know they've won championships before, but what have you done this season thus far, man? They beat the Predators. Okay. And they escaped last week against the Bulldogs with a 1-point win. And that's why the Warriors have dominated thus far, the teams they've played, and the big win against the Canes. I think they deserve the number 1 poll. And you know what? Even with these polls this week, they got a chance to show that. So.
Yeah, I don't even know if we got time to go over the polls, but we'll go over some of the polls. 6-man South, let's go over that, Flanny. We'll go over the predictions before we end the show. Jokers beating 10-yard fight barely 35-34 the final, and pretty surprising here by 10-yard fight. Yeah. Almost defeating the top team, but the Jokers had a few deep bombs in this game, and the Jokers went for 2 and converted. So. Mm-hmm. So Big Al Jr. dislocated his finger during this game too.
And here's the thing: the Jokers caught him off guard, man. Big Al Jr. goes down with a dislocated finger, and looked like the team was either attaining to that on there, and the Jokers caught him off guard, man. They go for the 2, not to tie the game. They go to take the lead, and they get it. You know what I mean? 10-yard fight still had time left, though, Giant. Last seconds there to try tie. They got into like the 10 or 15-yard line, but they couldn't punch it in, man. But a great battle here, man. They almost won here. Impressive win for an 0-2 team to come in and to almost beat the Jokers. But here's a team that always plays the Jokers close. You look at the last spring season on here, they beat the Jokers in the regular season. So, before that championship blowout, but they had a chance here. They almost did it, man, but Jokers prevailed.
All right, and that was pretty much the game of the week. The next game we're going to go over.
Oh, no way, man.
This
Rebels.
should have been the game of the week, and the Rebels remain perfect at 3-0. And just the Ozone defense, they need to get better. They are giving way too many points, and also in this game, an embarrassing, costly pitch by the Ozone quarterback Adam, who ended up lateraling the ball to the defense. And the Rebels win this one pretty handedly, 31-25, Flanny.
Yeah. Shout out to Lloyd Porter in the chat there. He agrees with you, Giant. Ozone, we got to do better. And they do, man. Defensively.
Lots of shit talking that week one. After that week one, lots of shit talking. I don't know about now.
I know after week one, we haven't heard much of Ozone. And listen, I know they've had tough matchups as well, you know what I mean, the teams they play, but you got to win these games. And it was close. You know, you mentioned the pitch there by Adam that did kind of cost him, but you can't just look at that, man. I mean, he did bring them back into this game. He did score some key scores down in that second half, but defensively, they can't give up these points, man. It seemed like the Rebels, every time they had the ball, they were scoring at will, you know, on third or fourth down conversions that they got. So, and I can't take anything out from the Rebels. I told you guys this team's good, man. This team has some solid guys. They regrouped there, and it's a team that's undefeated, 3-0 thus far. So, but you know, and for Adam, man, coming in there, I mean, he's a Cobras quarterback. He comes in, he plays. This is his second game. He's 0-2 for the Ozone. I don't know if that's a bad sign or not. You know what I mean? But I talked to Sonny a couple of weeks ago, and he's saying that his quarterback hasn't been there yet. So I don't know. I mean, you know, Sonny quarterback the first week, they got that impressive win. The next 2 weeks, they've lost, you know. They got to change something up, man. I mean, they either need that quarterback or, you know, I don't know. I mean, defensively, they definitely got to do better, though.
All right, guys. So, you know, we're going to go over the 6 versus 6 North. And let me try to get the notes. Cobras versus All-Star, and the All-Stars, they seem to control the tempo most of the game with the offensive line play over here. And the Cobras scored on big plays and were stopped twice at the goal line on fourth downs. Bink had a monster game for the All-Stars. By far the player of the week. He was everywhere. So
yeah,
is that the 6 versus 6 the notes over here?
Yeah, 6 versus 6 North.
All right, cool. Okay.
Yeah, but listen, man. I mean, you mentioned Bink, very underrated player, man. In this league, and in this game here, man, this guy was everywhere. Every time where the ball was, there he was. He had a monster game here for the All-Stars. Key why they won this game. But you mentioned the 2 big stops where the Cobras were in that red zone. They couldn't score, and that's pretty much what sealed it there. You know, All-Stars were able to convert. Both teams did put up points here, but those 2 key stops, man, for the All-Stars, they remain undefeated here. They remain the 6-on-6 champs here, man. You got to beat them.
Oh, man. I just want to announce this. The Washington Redskins just drafted Dwayne Haskins, man, quarterback from Ohio State. Yo, Alex Smith is out for the entire fucking year with that broken leg. You guys remember seeing that? It was brutal at the end of last season, so I'm not surprised he's going to be out. So shout out to the Redskins. HTTR, hail to the Redskins, man. Make sure you beat the Giants, son. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man, in that division race, yo. So shout out to Dwayne Haskins and shout out to the Redskins. He looks solid, man. I like him.
I think a lot of guys are watching the draft today too, Giant, man, because you know, as far as the chat goes. But hey, man, the show will be as downloadable as well, man.
All right, so let's go on. I mean, these 6 versus 6, we need better notes, man. Maybe we'll get better next week, but let's move on.
You know what? There really wasn't much other games there that week. The All-Stars Cobras was the game of the week. You know, I mean, Bruins continue to roll. Savages again put up impressive points this week. Other than that, there wasn't any upsets or anything that I could think of. So.
All right, we got the Bears versus the Wild. Oh, let's go over these power rankings by Sam, aka Ace Rothstein. I want to give a shout out to Ace Rothstein over here, man. Reminds me of Ace Rothstein from Casino, the movie. Before some of you were probably even born. It's one of my top 10 movies. So shout out to Sam Rothstein over here, and he's giving some power rankings over here. And we'll go over the Flaggate. He's saying Warriors pulled off a nice upset against the Canes, but it still appears to be a two-horse race between the All-Stars and the Canes. So still not getting love from the Warriors over here. I don't understand this, Flanny. What do they have to do?
Oh, well, Giant Warriors. Guess who the Warriors playing this week? That's the All-Stars. So,
right.
hey, you know.
They got bragging rights with that, man. Flag division number 6. Division is a little more interesting per Sam Rothstein, and the All-Stars are still the cream of the crop. I agree with that. But the Cobras, Bruins, and Bears are all capable of winning the chip. Hey, man, injuries happen. Goonies and Savages are slightly behind that pack, but have talent. I don't know about that. And the bottom feeders have the potential to upset one of these favorite in the playoffs, man. We'll see what happens, but I don't know about this. As I see this division with 3 strong teams, both the Jokers and the Field Mob have championships on their resume. So I'll give them the nod here to face each other for the title. Don't sleep on Ozone either. I can't say that anymore. You probably could sleep on them, man, because their defense is absolutely horrendous, Flanny.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, you know, look, they've had a break here too with the Easter break here, so you know, teams, we'll see. I mean, this is the midway point here. This week, after this week, you know, there's only 4 more weeks after that, so if you're gonna make that change, you gotta do it now, man. So here's the midway point coming up this Sunday.
All right, let's go for our predictions over here. 6 versus 6 flags. We got Bears versus Wild Breed, and this is at 8:30 a.m., and there is no indication that the Wild Breed is going to do anything over here. So I think Bears are easily going to win this one, Flanny.
Yeah, unless Jim from the Bears is going to be up in Bayonne because where the Canes need him at quarterback, but I doubt that. He'll be there for the Bears this week, and even if he's not, man, I mean, Wild Breed has not shown anything thus far here this season. I know rosters issues, you know, only showing up with 6 guys does not help. But we'll see what happens. I mean, you know, veteran teams got to do better than that. And, you know, the Bears look hot, man. Bears look hot right now.
All right, next matchup we got are the All-Stars versus the Goonies, man. And the All-Stars, I mean, they are just stunning team. I think it's going to be hard for the Goonies. They might make this one competitive, Flanny, but I don't think the Goonies got a shot against the All-Stars. I think the All-Stars are going to take this one.
Not so fast. I mean, listen, I love the Goonies, man, and yes, I know All-Stars coming in as the favorites here, but don't be surprised if there's an upset here with this. Goonies do play the All-Stars pretty tight, man. You know, we've seen them play also in tournaments in prior seasons. You know, Mike Vick's still out there, man, for the Goonies. So, you know, Bernie back there, you know, you can't count this team out. You know, here's a team that was in a dogfight with the Bruins, you know, week number 1. And, you know, they should have came out with that win. I mean, gutsy call there by the Bruins, go for the 2. So, you know, don't count them out, man. I like the Bruins. I might think they might pull the upset here.
All right, so let's go on to the next thing we got. We got the Bruins versus the Cobras, and this should be a good matchup too, man.
Game of the week, man.
So Jim Flanagan is predicting this to be the game of the week. I like this matchup, and I think it's going to be a tough shootout over here. And I think the Cobras can win this, Flanny.
I don't know.
I really do.
I've heard mixed results on this. People are saying either Bruins are overrated or they're underrated coming into this game. I think they're underrated, man. I think the Bruins on here, listen, man, they're 3-0 for a reason. You look at the standings on there. You look at how many points the Bruins have scored. I know they've had close matchups there against the Goonies. Even the Pace team gave them a game last week. But look how much points the Bruins have scored. In 6-on-6, that's what it's about, man. You got to put up the points, man. And these guys do it. The Bruins, I believe they're the number one highest scoring team thus far right now in the 6-on-6 North, and that does a lot. So, it's going to be definitely a competitive game. Could go either way here, man. But I got to go with the better offense right now, the offense that's playing better right now, which is the Bruins. And if you call it an upset here, yeah, I'm taking the Bruins.
All right. Let's take a look at
this team that's being the All-Stars in championships prior. Guys are forgetting about that, man. Before AJ Santos went down with that injury, man, these guys snapped their streak, man. So don't forget about that. But I know Corvos are hungry. They're definitely disappointed with the loss last week against the All-Stars. But I think Bruins remain undefeated right now, man. They're rolling in hot, 3-0, and Kornacki out there. Watch out, man.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup. We got the Savages versus the Pace Trucking Dirt Demons, man. Pace needs to do something with their team. They still haven't found a way, and they've hit rock bottom, but I think they're going to continue hitting rock bottom over here. And I think the Savages are easily going to win this one.
Yeah. They had a more competitive game there against the Bruins thus far, but still couldn't get the W. And the way the Savages are playing now, Giant, man, they found their rhythm, man. They're finding their rhythm to score. And I think that continues, So last 2 weeks, impressive points. I think they put up like 70, 80 points combined in the last 2 weeks. So
very impressive. Shout out to the Savages for playing far superior lately, extraordinary lately.
After that week one blowout, they definitely.
Oh yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Big turnaround.
All right, and the snooze fest of the week is the Venio versus the Bankers over here. I think the Bankers have a chance over here to actually get their first W, Flanny.
Yeah, it could happen.
Did they put their portfolios down for the week, man, and just let it, just put it in some bonds this week so it just stays steady, man? Don't worry about those crazy return ROIs and stuff like that, fellas.
Oh man!
All right, just take it easy for this week, yeah.
Might have to go all in here this week, man.
Man, they definitely do. They need to get a W on the board, man. All right, so let's move along to the Super Stud South. ACFL South schedule. 10-yard fight versus the 6, and 10-yard fight. I think they're going to take this one finally. I think they're going to get their first W. It's against a joke team like the 6. But they need this W, and I think they're well deserving of it. They put a damn good fight up against the Jokers. They couldn't punch it in at the end of the game, being at the 10-yard line, against the Jokers, man. But a hell of a battle in week number 3, Flanny. So I do believe they will get their first W.
Yeah, and it's crazy that these two teams, where they're placed at right now, as far as standing wise goes, two teams that have been there before. They know each other well. They should be a close battle, though. It should go a close battle. If a 10-yard fight plays as good as they did last week, they should be fine here. But my concern is there. How healthy is Al Jr.? I know they've had the week off, which helps with the Easter off. Is he going to be good, okay to go here for this game? Kevin did a tremendous job last week, First 2 weeks he was horrible, man, but this past week he did play great. So, but I don't know, Giant.
Yeah, they got some great. They bring a big crowd of cheerleaders with them too. So, shout out to 10-yard fight. They roll deep every week over there, and they put up a fight. And Kevin finally had a great game. But not great enough.
We're number 1, Giant, man. So
yeah. All right, let's move along to the next matchup we got. It's the Ozone versus the Wolverines. And if Ozone can't just mop the floor with these guys, they need to get some paper bags for their heads and lower their heads in shame for all the Ozone emissions that they are emitting from their terrible play over here, Flanny. This should be an easy W for Ozone.
Dave, you hear that, man? You hear that? Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree.
Disgraceful. They've been playing absolutely disgraceful lately.
That's because you've been taking them, man. That's the problem. You taking them this week?
Yeah, I'm taking them this week.
Oh, man.
Dude, it's the Wolverines, bro.
Oh, God.
Like, come on, dude. I'm sorry, you know?
Hey, man. Wolverines gave the Rebels a run, man, week 1. Don't be surprised, man. I know they've only played 2 games. They played a very hot field mob team that came with everybody that last week. So they played the top 2 teams so far. So you can't judge the Wolverines on that, man. You know what I mean? They got playmakers out there. It's so both teams are on a 2-game losing streak. So you know what I mean. So hey, I think there's a good shot for Wolverines to step in there and get the W here. But Ozone.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And this is absolutely the game of the week for the ACFL South. Morris Jokers versus the Field Mob. I have all the confidence in the world for the Morris Jokers right now, okay? Here's my question. When are the Morris Jokers going to change their name to something more extravagant like Simply the Best? Something like that, you know, Flanny? The best, you know? I don't know how you dispute that. Yeah, 10-yard fight, put up a good fight against them, but I don't think that'll happen again if they play 10-yard fight in the playoffs or something. I think they're going to absolutely rape them without any lube. And the Morris Jokers are going to win this one by at least 2 scores, Flanny.
Wow. Field Mob, you hear this?
That's how confident I am of the Morris Jokers. That's how confident I am of them. Wow,
okay. Well, look, this game, Morris Jokers, listen, they got some hot receivers. I agree, man. I agree.
Hot to death, son.
Well, listen, let's look at the quarterback matchup here, man. Field Mob comes with their quarterback in this game. I got to give the advantage to Field Mob here, man.
Okay.
Yes, not against Omar, man. Omar's a great quarterback. I love the guy, man. But listen, Field Mob's quarterback, great mobility, man. How well is this Jokers team going to be able to contain this quarterback? That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? Defensively, as far as the line goes, I got to give the advantage to Field Mob as well. And it's going to come down to, can Field Mob stop these receivers? If they do, it's going to be a long day for the Jokers. I disagree, Giant Man. There's people on here still doubting the Field Mob team, man. They said
I don't doubt them. I just don't doubt
them. They're undefeated, man. They're undefeated. How long are they? So you're saying their undefeated streak stops this Sunday, man? That's
right. I'm calling it right now, guys. Wow. If I do, I'll eat crow. I'll call up Ozzy Osbourne out of retirement, and I'll take a bite of that crow he took a bite out of on stage that one time back in the 80s when we were just in diapers and some of you weren't even a twinkle in your parents' eyes. So I'll do that, man, and that's how confident I am that Morris Jokers will have no problems with Field Mob. Their receivers are ridiculous. Their defense is fantastic. All around an excellent team. And Omar is Cam Newton Jr. That's all I got to say.
Man.
Cam Newton Jr.
I don't know. I don't think they got an answer for Izzy, man. Izzy's going to come in there. Look, the guy lit it up against the Wolverines, man. He's going to do the same. Watch out, man. How well can they contain this quarterback? If they can't, they're in for a long day, Giant, man. And that defensive line on the Field Mob, they haven't played against a good rush like that yet, man. So let's see how good Omar is on here. We know how good the receivers are he has, man. But is he going to be able to get the ball to them? That's the key, man. So you're going Jokers. I'm taking Field Mob, man, until somebody beats them or proves otherwise, man. Whether it's in the South, whether it's in the North, man. Until they get beat, I can't go against them, Giant.
All right, let's move along to the 8 versus 8 flag, and hopefully these refs, they got their shit together now, so we don't have any more issues like we started off the show with tonight. First matchup, we got the Canes versus the Apex Predators. Why are we going over this? the Canes are going to shit all over the Apex Predators, Flanny.
Yeah, no. Listen, 0-3. It's gonna be 0-4, man. I know the Canes don't have a quarterback coming this game, man, but does it matter? Is it gonna matter? I don't think so.
No, I don't. Is Apex Predators going to bring a fucking team?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they finally got points on the board, man, but it's gonna be very hard. If they make the same key mistakes they did last week, the Canes are gonna make them pay for them, man. So,
all right, guys, Bankers versus the Smash Mouth over here. I think this should be a good matchup, and I think the Bankers could actually get their second W over here this week, man. And
double Bankers this week, huh?
Yeah, I'm going with the Bankers this week. I like them.
You know what?
For this 9 a.m.
I like
matchup.
your pick, man. I like your pick. You know what I mean? A lot of guys that went on the Smash Mouth train, man, but you know, disappointed last week, man. Only put up 6 points all game, and that wasn't even on an offensive drive. It was a defensive INT to the house. Listen, man, the Bankers got some big boys there, man. They're gonna match up real well against the Smash Mouth team, and they gotta put this. And you know, Smash Mouth made a lot of penalties, man. That game, a lot of penalties against us. So if they don't clean that up on here, Bankers could take this game easily. I'm agreeing with you, Giant Man. I'm taking Bankers, man. If they call it an upset.
All right, and now we're going to go to the game of the week, the All-Stars versus the Warriors. And here, guys, is where the Warriors are going to be the undisputed #1 in town for the prestigious, sophisticated 8 versus 8 flag, Flanny. This is what I'm calling it right here, right now. Warriors are going to shut everybody up, man. For all those clowns putting them #2 overall in the league or whatever, man. They're going to be well-deservedly top dog after this game up in Park Ridge.
Yeah. This one's got to be filmed, man.
Got to be filmed.
You know, I got to do it again, man. I got to go out there, man. I'll do it.
All right. So you're going to go to Park Ridge. I was going to tell you to go down there to
There's actually 2 good games, man. Goonies All-Stars and Warriors All-Stars. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 2 good matchups, man. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a battle. Listen, man, All-Stars continue dominance here. 2 undefeated teams. Someone's gonna get that big loss, man. Who's it gonna be? One thing I'm looking at here, man. Look how much points the Warriors are putting up, man. And then look at their points against. You know, their points against are better than the Canes. Points against are better than the All-Stars, better than Uso, you know what I mean? And they're scoring, you know? So, and then you look at the All-Stars prior week, they only beat the Bulldogs by 1 point, and that's a concern for me on there, man. Look, if they could take down the Canes, why can't they take down the All-Stars? So, I'm with you, Giant Man. I'm gonna wear a Warriors t-shirt out there. I'll try to get one. Support the team, man.
The Ultimate Warrior, right? You gotta wear the Ultimate Warrior t-shirt, man.
Hell yeah. All
right, guys. And our last matchup of the week, Monstars versus the Bulldogs. And I mean, it could be either's game, but I think Monstars, they finally got a little bit of confidence in them, man. And I think they had a good shot against the Bulldogs over here. You said it. Bulldogs played very well against the All-Stars, man. But I think Monstars got more confidence now. And I think they're going to play well. I think they're going to squeak this one out, Flanny.
I just going to need more than confidence, man. I'm not convinced with the Monstars, man. Just bad play call there by the Apex Predators. Lost them that game. Bulldogs are playing good ball, man. Bulldogs playing good ball. People are not realizing this, man. They're playing some good football. Tough losses so far this season, and this veteran team knows what they're doing, man. Well, the Monstars are a new team here. No way, man. Bulldogs. I'm taking Bulldogs in this one, man.
Yeah, all right, guys. So, anything you got over here, Flanny? We're running a little bit late tonight, guys.
We can't close the show without the talking about the South versus North, man. We missed it last week. You listen, the debate down there, man. People are saying, "Are we gonna see games between the South and the North?" You know, I say, why not, man? Why not? Listen, for years down in the South, before it was, I mean, JT pretty much came in there like Vince McMahon and owns both the South and the North now. You know what I mean? But prior to that, there's been teams that were running there, man. I'm talking about Tommy Gunn and the Trojans, which held championship after championship. And Adam came in there with the Dukes, like a decade of destruction down there. Then we talk about Field Mob. They've ran a couple of seasons down there as well. And it's always been up in a debate, like, what happens when one of these teams plays one of the ACFL teams, Now, since the league's pretty much all in one, man, ACFL, North and South, it's all part of the ACFL. That's a possibility. And I say, why not? Why don't we do the games like that, man? And I'm not just talking about championship. I mean, people are talking about, the winner of the South plays the winner of the North, get the two top teams to play each other. But why not just even in the regular season,
I think that
you look at the South,
I think the distance thing. I think the travel time is huge for some players, man. So
I agree, but listen, it's South's got what 7 teams on there, so that means you're playing 6 weeks, and then the other 2 weeks you're playing the same team again, right? You know what I mean? So
right.
What's the fun in that? Playing a team twice, and then you might even maybe meet them up in the playoffs, playing them for a third time. That makes it kind of boring. Don't you want to see new talent? Don't you want to see new matchups, new games on there? You mentioned about the travel, Giant, but look, JT's got a field where in East Orange, Paul Robeson. That ain't too far from Rahway, maybe a 20-minute ride, or the Brookdale Park, man.
You know what? I'll tell you what, guys. Once we get the new website up, we could put some polling on there and see who's interested, who would be receptive to this, because none of this could be done unless there's polling. And if it's a collective action problem. So if nobody gives a shit enough, or somebody's got to do manual polling when they go to the games, would you be receptive to playing teams from the North, or do you enjoy where you are in the South? Yada, 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 something like that. So until then, it's an idea. For the time being, I think we could do an all-star game, something like that, man. Like an exhibition game, but people are playing to win the game,
Yes, man.
So they might not be receptive to that. Go ahead, Flanny.
How much interest is going to be an all-star game? It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. It's just an exhibition game.
John, you do title for title, man. You get the champs versus champs, winner take it all, man. That'll prove some interest. But why not during the regular season as well? I mentioned the South only having the 7 teams on there, play other teams instead of the same team again multiple times. The travel, here's the thing with the travel, not every team's got to travel. You know what I mean? You have maybe 3 teams from ACFL South go up to play North, and 3 from North play South. So some guys are going to come in Rahway, some guys go to like East Orange, to play the games for that week. So teams that can't or don't want to travel, let's stay in Rahway. You don't need all 7 teams to be able to do that, And I think it should be great. I mean, it'll be some great matchups. I know a lot of teams want to play the Field Mob team, man. And how great would it be to see, Field Mob against some teams, How great would it be to see, like, the Jokers against the Bruins, man? I mean, we'll probably see, like, 120 points on the board. Or if we saw, like, Cobras against Ozone and maybe give Adam a reversible jersey and he quarterbacks both teams, all jokes setting aside, man. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be, it's something that can be done now, you know what I mean? Because before you couldn't. Either the leagues both didn't want to do it, or one didn't want to do it, or one team was playing touch, the other team was playing flag. Now it's both. The format's the same. The league's run by both, you know what I mean? So it's a possibility. Let us know what you guys think, man. Leave us a comment. You know what I mean? Poll could be posted on that as well. I think it'd be great, man. I think it'd be great to see the different matchup, man. To see that, get like a veteran XYF team that's been in the South for like years against like the A team, aka Pace team, So I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, man. Every team makes the playoffs, so you can't say, "Oh, we played a North team." Every team makes the playoffs, so seeding. Sure. I mean, you could put it like that the conference game means more than the overall. So let's say a team is like 5-0 in the South. and then maybe lost the game in the North, make the 5-0 team, in that conference being more on the standings wise. So, but each team makes the playoffs. So, I mean, I don't see why that would hurt, and not every team would need to travel. So, I think it's possible, man. It's just the players, the teams, and does the league want to do that? Let us know. I mean, it's a good. I think it's good for the league. So,
All right, all right. So that's what we got over here. We talked about what we discussed in the beginning. We'll talk about it more next week too, guys. We appreciate all the clicks. Make sure you click on subscribe over here to ACFL Films, and leave us your comments on the show as well. Too short, too long. We appreciate all the feedback, good, bad. We appreciate everything. We're always trying to make this show better. And that's all we got for tonight. So make sure you continue to check us out, www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us on Instagram, ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football League. Jim Flanagan, Giant 918, signing out. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a good night.